Howdy y'all, this is AR Cavally. Welcome back to my channel. And we are going to continue our Forge adventures. Last session, our main PC, Lucas, or one of them, nearly died. Eaten by a large parrot type wild bird. But they managed to chop them up, and as it turns out, the birds are edible, so they cooked a bunch of them, and everyone gets their rations all back. So I'm going to say that's some free food as the mercenaries cook and spit roast and properly season these critters. Let's see. Now, did Ursia have a helmet? We need to look towards replacing shields, repairing and replacing shields. I know Ursia didn't have a shield, and Lucas had already used one. Where are my NPCs? There we go. Let's see. Did Ursia have a shield? No. No, she did not. She did have a crossbow, but I'm thinking that kind of crossbow is probably a little heavy for old our strength 4 hero Morian. So she'll stick with her sling and her rapier and find a higher place to crawl onto the next time. All right. Now, of course, Lucas did nearly die. He was very close to dying. Let's see. So, let's see. Resting. All right. So his rest, overnight rest. He's definitely, like I said, they're pretty well protected from the nighttime stuff because of their big construct rumble. So I'm going to say that they're going to let him have an overnight rest. He won't have to do anything like that, any watch or anything. I don't think anyone else got hit. Just poor Ursia, who of course got hit and then dismembered and all that stuff. All right. Hit. Nope. All right, so despite their other luck, no one else got eaten. And so he's going to get back his Constitution modifier, or 1 hit die plus a Constitution modifier back. He's got a D8, pretty sure. I need to come up with a little bit better of a little bit more organized way, or organize my papers before I hit record. All right, so he is a D8, yes, and his Constitution bonus is +1. So D8 +1. Okay. So just enough. And is someone able to fix his shield? It did get ruined. I'm gonna say between them, I'll give an advantage. Oh, okay. So 1. No, his 1 and a 3. So his shield is toast. He has no shield. He's just got his helmet. And I don't even think any of them have shields left. Yeah. No one left has a shield, so I guess he's sucking. But no one has shields. No more get out of jail free cards for Lucas and crew. All right, so they rested. They ate their birds. They got their rations back, and I'll say they actually got 4 rations, so give him a ration back. And then give her ration back, and then add another ration. And we'll just leave the other 2 rations amongst our mercenary friends. All right, so as we were making our way across, I said it would be 2 days. That was the first day. So the second day, it's going to take all day to get there. So let's see what our... I'm not going to roll for another discovery, not automatic discovery, because they're in the same hex. Okay, so their encounter roll is going to be 4 hours in. So I will definitely say that they're going to have to roll. And then mountains, so 1 through 3 is a encounter, 6 is a discovery. Oh, well, look at that. And this discovery, I think, is depending on what it is, of course, but I think there's a pretty good chance it's going to be linked to whatever is supposed to destroy Rumble. It's going to be linked to their quest somehow. All right, so wilderness discovery of a 4, so that's evidence. What's their evidence of? 6. Ooh, a cache of unguarded treasure. All right, well, maybe that's not. Yeah, we'll just roll some unguarded treasure. About time. I don't think anything they fought has ever had any money. All right, so let me go back to our treasure area. Treasure. All right, so generating treasure, our average party level is 1 through 3, so it's -1 to any of our 2d6 rolls. Unguarded treasure. Yeah, so it says unguarded, so we'll let's roll here. It's got to be -1 for our 2d6. 9, so an 8. 1 non-magic item. Well, we'll see. We'll see. It'd be great, a shield. It'd be nice to find a shield. That would be handy. All right. All right, so our non-magic items. I guess I would just roll on the... Oh, no, okay. Here we go. Down here at the bottom, non-magic items. Roll 1d6 to see what we find. 4. Ammunition. Okay, well. What kind of ammunition do we find? Let's see. 4. All right, so, there's only so many types. Let me go ahead and re-roll that, because... so one... I'll say 1 or a 2, it's for a sling. And that might actually indicate that it's some kind of, either like really nice, stones or, chunks of metal or something that would be great. Not necessarily someone dropped a bunch of stones or whatever. 2 or 3 arrows, or 1 or 2. 3 or 4 will be bow arrows, then 5 or 6 will be bolts. All right. Okay, so she has... All right, so she found 7 handy stones, which is enough to bring her back up to 10, because I haven't really been watching her. So what they found was, again, a completely worthless ammo. Well, not completely worthless, but, no XPs to be found here. I've got like no gold so far on this trip, I don't think. Probably because things keep killing us and we keep running away from them, but just the tables are not being terribly kind. I thought we might get lucky there. If it, I could have gotten a 1 higher, I could have rolled the jewelry or anything but ammo. Oh well. Probably more. All right. So that was their discovery. That was their role. Okay. Now, let us work at deciphering the nature of our spawn. We'll head back up here because this is where did that. So we have to take him somewhere. So I'm going to go ahead and generate a discovery. And I'm going to use that to determine, or to help determine, you know, what exactly is going on. Wilderness discovery. All right, so D6, and maybe it turns into a creature. And if that's the case, then it'll be some kind of, I don't know, some weird, something that destroys emotions, maybe like some kind of wraith or something. All right, so what is our wilderness discovery? A 4. So that's evidence. I don't know if that one's going to work out. Okay, so it's refuse. I think instead, yeah, I'm not liking that one. So not evidence. So instead, I'm going to do a quick modification, and I'm going to say that where this is located is either going to be an unnatural feature, a natural feature, or a structure. I'm just going to skip the creature in the evidence. All right, so it's a structure. 2, 6. Okay, a monolith or a cairn. So that makes that fits. Monolith or a cairn. What seems to be? I think a monolith actually sounds better. So it's a monolith, and they have to get him close to this monolith. But there's a creature, and this monolith. Let's see. Does anyone maybe know about this monolith now that they're here? I'll say it's unlikely. I would have given Tristan maybe a little bit more of a chance. No. I was inclined to maybe ignore that double, but because I'm still, you know, kind of figuring stuff out, this double is going to generate a random event, and if the random event might help me kind of decipher what this means. So let's see. The focus. Okay, so PC related, positive spin. Okay. So say the PC related positive spin. Let's see what we're talking about here. All right. 1, 5, 5. Deceive. Then 4, 3, 5. Deceive invention. Okay. So that's a positive spin, deceive invention. All right, so obviously it's gonna trick. Invention kind of leads obviously to like the construct, thinking about Rumble. How he would deceive him though. He's not really doing anything, he's just leading him along. I think what is... All right, so I think that there is something there that does not want Rumble to approach the monolith. So I'm thinking some other kind of element. or elemental. I mean, maybe we'll see. But I think we need some kind of boss battle. Deceive the element. So this might be something, or deceive the invention. This might mean something like when they get back, or maybe it's something he can use. You know, I think that's probably it. So there's going to be something here. The Guardian, the big boss, the final boss, does not want to see Rumble destroyed. And I think that this positive spin, I'm going to use it. So I'm going to say it is an invention. It's some kind of construct. Maybe it's a construct from the architect. That would make sense if he figured out, he got wind somehow, maybe through his art or just knowing how Pembry works or knowing what might have to be done. He says this is where he somehow knows through arcane knowledge that this monolith is what Pendry's going to try to do to cover up his crimes. Now, of course, the architect doesn't care about the crimes himself. He's just using them to blackmail. So I think our bad boss, big bad guy at the end or whatever, I think it's going to be some kind of elemental put there by the architect. Now, the architect doesn't know exactly when they're going to be there, so he just had a suspicion and he put this other construct there. So that makes sense. So I think that's what we're going to do. As they approach, they see the monolith. Rumble doesn't even care. Rumble doesn't seem to care about anything except eating those gems. But as they approach, they are intercepted, and at some point, Lucas is going to be able to deceive or trick, get some kind of advantage. Like maybe get a stunt. Maybe he's able to get a stunt off, or maybe get some kind of gain initiative automatically, something like that. But I'm going to go and I'm going to create the guardian, the end guardian of our little journey here, and see what happens. And I'll be back. All right. So they approach and they see a monolith amongst these other monoliths that look like they've cracked over eons past, and they slowly approach. They all get off of Rumble, take their gear, and well, I guess that's where we need to take them. And they approach to put the stone. They kind of get out of Rumble's way because they know they're going to get a stone over there. And as they get near, the ground shakes and the stones rise up in a column, and then coalesce into my camera not working. What? All right, well, glad I noticed that. There's nothing more frustrating than working a video and then realizing that your audio or your video hung up somewhere because, I'm not a YouTuber or influencer or anything, so I don't really feel like going back and refilming things. But fortunately, I was trying to show you this as the rocks coalesce and swirl into this giant rock elemental, and its mouth starts to move, and from deep within it sounds like this grating rumble. I knew he would bring it here. trying to hide his sin. Leave now, pawns, and you can live. Of course, this thing's huge, and it's made out of, stone elemental. So they're not very keen on staying, but they won't get paid. And of course, they also don't want to aggravate Pendry. So I just made like a typical elemental, which is kind of tough for a bunch of first and second level, but overall hit dice between the two sides are kind of close. So he will never make it to the monolith. Somehow we're going to have to work in this deceit. So I think he's going to give Morian one of the stones, and he's going to, when I give you the signal, just fling it right at the base. They're hoping they're close enough. This actually, scale should probably be a little bit farther, but he yells, "Form up! You are fools!" And obviously, they're not actually, they're not conversing with the elemental, because the elemental is a little too brainless for that. It's projecting. They can kind of feel the projecting of this architect that they still don't know. And this is going to be a pretty tough fight, so it may turn out to be a TPK. So who knows? Bold stories are made of such things. All right. So Lucas starts, "Let us pass. We're just doing our job. You shall be crushed." And of course, the whole, voice is very rumbly, much more rumbly than that. "Then we will have to smash you into bits." And he looks to her, and she flings the stone close over by the monolith. And then Rumble starts slowly moving. I'm going to say he moves like I don't know, maybe like an inch per turn. And if he gets in the circle, even if they're still winning, right, he'll push that elemental out of the way. He'll probably push everyone out of the way, but he's large enough. He's not like going to steamroll him or whatever. He's just going to shove him out of the way. And I think that's how it's going to play out, in that they are going to get the initiative. That will be the deceit. He threw the stone, and it the elemental turned to because it sensed the magic. Maybe there's something on the stone that attracts it as well. But then Rumble started moving forward, and as Rumble started moving forward, they all scream, "Attack!" Well, they don't sound quite so silly, but let's see. He's the archer, so those two are going to stay. And you know what? I think he's just going to have her, because that bag is endless. He's just going to have her flinging those stones, whereas normally a stone, regular stone wouldn't do anything. But I'm going to say that because they're, this kind of magical power stone or whatever, that they will actually hurt this guy. And of course, the more stones that are there, then the more it's going to attract. Not that Rumble can move any faster, but the elemental may have to take time to smash the stones to keep the elemental from running out there. So those two archers the two archers will go, and all of the warriors will race forward, and then The battle's on. Oh, you know what? I forgot to give our elemental hit points. Gave him everything else. Let's see. So he's a strength con, so all right, 5, 10, 13. 13 plus 14 is 27. Let's see. Oh, 28, 29. And, all right, so 35. So he's got 35 hit points. And if I counted that wrong and you're going to number addition check me, I don't care. So how about that? When I used to game more, I mean, I could just group those dice up, you know, rolling big pools and looking for 5s and 10s. Now my short-term memory is not that great, and neither is my short-term memory. Ba-doom, hey! All right, so they charge, and we'll give the archers first shot. All right, she's red, and the NPC is blue. Okay, and unfortunately, neither one of them hit. And let's see, I'm just going to switch these guys around for just for making it easier to account for me to account. All right, armor class 15 with his spear. Okay, I need to get my little rolling pit here. All right. 14, 15, 16. Okay, so that's a hit with his spear. Two-handed. So, all right. So he's going to take 5, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Let's see. So that guy. Oh, come on. All right, 11. Okay, so that's going to miss. Miss. And boss our spearman. I've never had it do that a bunch where it was. All right, okay, well, I'm going to call that a hit. 7 more. All right, so first two pretty good hits so far. Let's see. One, 2, 3, 4 on his counterattack. 2, so he's going to hit Seraph. Okay, so that is a hit on Seraph. And let's see. You know what I think? I think because he's got you know, such huge fists or whatever, I'm going to count it as kind of like a two-handed weapon. So I'm going to let him roll advantage for damage, which I may regret in the long run. Oh, 6. Okay. Yep, already regret it right now. So he brings his huge fist down on Seraph's skull, and it smashes. Oh no, it wasn't a critical. He smashes Seraph's skull, splitting his helmet, and his whole body crumpling like a rag doll as soon as his brain is pulverized. Alas, poor Seraph. All right. Arrow. Miss. Sling. Oh, look at that. Okay. So sling. 20. So 5's not bad. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right. So she takes that that sparkling, that shiny stone, and she flings it, and it whips over the fighters and smacks this elemental right in the head, and explodes in this fiery blast. Some hidden thing that you know, that they don't know about. They don't know anything about magic too, or know anything about the magic behind what caused it, but it did. All right. And if the elementals were emotional, if this one had emotions. All right, let's see if our hero. Man, look at that. Okay. So our hero I was really counting on this, and it might still be a TPK, but all right, so he's going to do extra die of damage. Okay, so that's 8 and a 5, and then he also gets to roll advantage. Okay, so that's 8 plus 5. It's going to be 13. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 10, 20, 31. So he's got 4 hit points left. Oof. So he, while the elemental, as the as Morian's stone explodes, the elemental staggers, and Lucas takes this time to leap forward and jab his spear in between the cracks of the moving rock, and it drives deep, and rock splits. A big, huge piece of rock splits out, and the elemental staggers again. All right. See about these other two. Miss and a miss. Let's see. Now let's see. That might be should be a hit. Might should be. And he is strong. Level 2, so 14, 15. So that'll definitely bring him up. With as he leaps in with his two-handed sword. All right, well, that went surprisingly well, I'll have to say, as well, I guess it actually should have been him, but either way, yeah, so he would have missed, so that actually should have been 2d8 for boss, not him. Probably gonna get the same result. Yeah, okay, just not as overly impressive, but as the chunks fall out on one side, boss takes his spear and leaps forward and manages to drive his spear into a gap between the folds of the rock of the creature's jaw, and as he jabs it in there, some heat and smoke start to roil out from the crevices that make its ill-defined face, and it collapses into a pile of inert stone. Or stones, little stones, a pile of stones. Oh, poor Seraph. If only. So, well. All right. Yeah, I was really kind of half expecting that that one to go pretty poorly. They pause for a minute to give their companion final words, and then strip his body, loot him of whatever he has. Oh yeah, that great sword. Actually, I've been forgetting to add +2 to the damage. Oh well, they have one. I was really expecting after that one hit, but 2 20s in a row on even a 10th level elemental can only take so many critical hits in a row. All right, and there we see the that dilemma, that dichotomy between whether you using great weapons, which allow you extra damage, or shields, which don't, which allow you to get out of death free card. Of course, they're all out of shields now, anyway. But and slowly, Rumble makes its way towards the stones. Of course, they start chucking the stones all at the at the monolith there, so that they don't have to wait for it to eat. Wait for it to eat. Actually, I guess he only fired two other stones. Um, yeah. Um, so at once Rumble gets in the middle, gets in the center, the and it approaches the monolith, the ground shakes and shifts. The monolith and portions of the remaining crumbled stones, what were probably monoliths ages ago, put there by some unknown magical power, um, start to glow in small areas, starts from the cracks, and Rumble, the glyphs, the markings around the outside of the rocky shell, start to dim and fade away. Not only dimming, but actually like looking like they're weathering away, they're eroding away before their eyes. And this rhinoceros-like creature, this giant, this behemoth, sinks to the ground, and after a moment, if they had not seen it, had not spent the last 2 days trying to herd this stupid, ancient, mysterious construct through the mountains, they would never even know that it was anything more than a giant boulder. All right, let's see. Does anything odd happen to the monolith? Like, does it zap the last of the monolith's power? Oh, it does. Okay. Um, so not only does that, does Rumble basically sink into the ground and become a giant boulder. The last monolith cracks and falls into a pile of sharp rubble, scales. What do you call it? Shards. There we go. Collapses into a pile of dark, sharpened shards. And then they can feel, even though they're not magic users, they can feel the energy leave the space. They pause for a moment, look at each other. Their job now done. Now let's set up camp around our old friend Rumble and head back in the morning. And we'll call it there. That actually went a lot better than I was thinking. I'm willing to kill everybody for the sake of the story. It's for the art, man. It's for the art. Uh, but I mean, they just they just went through that dude's hit points like nothing. So anyway, we'll see you next time. Happy gaming.